Today I'm going to be talking about how to find the cheapest flights and how to get really crazy good deals, as well as the best booking sites to use to get those deals. If you don't know already, I'm Anyah, I'm 21 years old, I solo travel the world, and I show you guys how to do it, where to go to solo travel, as well as how to get the cheapest flights and make it affordable for you. So let's jump into the video. Hey guys, what's up? It's Anyah. First, before I start, I just want to say I know you guys have seen me in this sweater so many times before. I promise you I have other clothes. This is just really comfortable, so yeah. So I have a list here. I'm filming on my phone, so I'm going to use my laptop just to show you like the different companies that I found work the best. I'll briefly be going through some of them only because I'm not familiar with each and every one of them, but many of them I've used before. The first tip rather that I have when you're searching for these flights, whether it be domestic or international travel, is to turn on the incognito mode on your computer. You can do this by clicking the left top dots, finding your private browser mode and clicking that, or you can use a VPN to hide your address. What this basically is going to do is shield the airline companies from raising the prices up when they've seen a history of you looking for a certain flight in a certain country or destination. The second tip I say is to use Skyscanner. I love Skyscanner. You get the cheapest deals. They have a feature where you can put in your dates for the cheapest month, or you could travel anywhere in the world and it'll give you a crazy good deal as well. And you can even go out the country for less than it would be to travel inside the country, which is insane. The third one is to use airfare. Airfare is basically Afterpay for flights. You can pay a really big flight in 4 different installment payments, and it makes it really affordable and you don't have to pay all the money up front. It does give you a limit to how far you can put the flight out into, so if you do it too far or too close, then you won't be able to book it. But I just suggest that you keep visiting the website until it gives you the time frame in which you can book that flight. The fourth tip is going to be using Scholartrip. Scholartrip is a great resource when it comes to students who want to travel. I don't know the age range necessarily on that website in particular, but I do know it's great in case you're a current student or maybe even a grad student. I think they do grad students as well, who wants to get a nice cheap flight by using, student privilege. The fifth thing I'm going to suggest is to check flights in nearby cities. I did this when I did my first solo trip in Bali. Instead of flying out of the Ronald Reagan DCA Washington DC airport, I decided to fly out of New York in the JFK airport instead. This cut down on my cost significantly. My flight went from $1,300 to $800 just because I switched, the flight from Washington DC to New York. I then just took a bus from Washington DC to New York, stayed in some cheap hotel, and then I went out the next day to the airport to catch my flight. The sixth thing I recommend is try traveling on a Tuesday or a Wednesday instead of the weekend. Weekends are already known to be the most expensive days to travel, especially if it's near a holiday. Or you could try booking on a Tuesday at midnight. It's very inexpensive when you book on a Tuesday because it's the beginning of a work week and most people are going to be working, meaning that the congestion when it comes to booking a flight is not going to be high at all. Therefore the demand is going to be lower. The seventh thing that I recommend doing is getting on secretflying.com. Similarly to 𝓁𝒾𝓀𝓃𝓉, this is a third-party flight company that makes traveling to cities secret or hidden fees, but basically you're kind of jumping your flight. So say you want to go to Alabama. Say you want to go to Alabama, but the flights are cheaper to go to Texas than Alabama, but there's a stop in Alabama. You would book it as if you were going to Texas, and then you would get off in Alabama and miss your flight for the next stop, or stay on the plane, whichever is applicable to your situation. The only problem with this is if the airlines catch you, they can ban you permanently from flying with them ever again. So it's very risky, but if it's worth it to you, then the risk is worth the reward. Skip lag, it's just like secret flying, except for it has a little bit, it's more common than secret flying. AVSLs is a really good booking platform as well. You can find different deals when it comes to flying out the country, out the country internationally and domestic. FareDrop is really good when it comes to marking what flights are going to be the most expensive, and if the flight has changed over the course of like a couple of months or a couple of weeks, and watching the demand go down when it comes to like a place that you really want to go to, but it might be a touristy destination. My next tip is to actually go into the airline or the airport that you're trying to book the flight with. If you book in person, on average, it's a lot less expensive than booking online. It's kind of like the old school way, and if you don't have a car or you are just too lazy to go in person, then that totally makes sense. Yet, a lot of people don't do this way, and sometimes, you know, the flight concierge can like really hook you up for a good deal. Second to last tip that I have is to use Google Explorer to find flights. Similarly to Skyscanner, you can search on the Explore tab to explore the entire month. That way you can go anywhere out the country if you just want to travel and you don't have any country in mind, for a very low or discounted rate that you normally would not be able to do if you were going to go during a touristy month. My last tip is use Hopper to predict when the price of a flight will drop. You do have to subscribe to a membership fee if you want them to notify you and give you the deals, yet it gives you a paragraph and a predictor for different deals so that you can look at it and you can find like when the flights are predicted to drop, or if they're too high, or if someone's charging too much. So these are all the tips that I've learned from, you know, the internet, Google, all sorts of things. My dog is barking at my reflection. All sorts of things. Let me know if these helped you, and I would love to see how you implement those in later travels. Have a great day and happy traveling. Bye. Say bye, Poochie.